Hey Fit Fam, welcome to our first nutrition talk at CrossFit 7070. Today we're going to be talking about navigating a healthy holiday season. So grab a pen and a piece of paper and let's get started. The holiday season has arrived, and wow, was that fast. When you think of the holidays, what comes to mind? Hopefully friends and family made your top 3 list, but undoubtedly we also think about the hustle and bustle, the stress, the late nights, the food, the treats, and maybe even the alcohol too. After working on our health and fitness goals for weeks or even months, the holiday season can seem like a time where we could get derailed. But what if I told you that this year you could enjoy the holiday season and still stay on track with your goals? Today, we are going to share 5 tips for navigating the healthy holiday. I will share a presentation with you. Okay. All right. Slide 2.
Hi guys, I'm Casey and I'm here with Emily, and at 7070, we believe something as fundamental as nutrition should never be complicated. We want you to feel confident. We want you to have a realistic, sustainable plan, even during the holidays, which is why we focus on habit-based approach. Our nutrition program is backed by Healthy Steps Nutrition. With their registered dietitians, they've helped over 35,000 people around the world take control of their health. You know what each of these stories have in common? They built the habits to keep them confident in any situation and help them lose the weight and keep it off.
If you've ever felt derailed or experienced weight gain during the holiday season, know that you are not alone. A scientific review article found that most people will gain 1 to 2 pounds from Thanksgiving through New Year's. So if most people, whether they're aiming to lose weight or not, are gaining weight, you may be wondering how you can enjoy the holidays and still stay on track to achieve your goals. Let's dive into 5 tips for navigating this holiday season.
Tip number 1, remember your why. Behind every goal, there's an emotion about how we want to feel when we achieve that goal. For instance, when we work with nutrition clients who want to lose weight, there's always a reason why they want to lose the weight. Typically, they tell us they want to feel more confident in their skin and have more energy.
Okay. So let's take a moment to write down your goals and then answer why 3 times. Here's an example. Your goal might be, I want to lose 10 pounds. Why? Your answer could be, so I can fit into those old clothes in the back of my closet. Second why. Why are those clothes important? Answer, I see pictures of myself wearing them and I think I look good. Third why. Why are wearing those clothes and looking good important to you? Well, if I lose 10 pounds and fit back into those clothes, I will feel more comfortable and confident in my own skin. So the goal is to continuously check in about why something, your goal, is so important to you. This will lead you to truly understanding that strong emotional connection with your goals. For some, it may take only 3 lines, and others may need more to have a connection with their goal. To get started, let's take a minute to fill out those lines. Once you uncover and understand your why, think about writing it down somewhere or having a symbol in a place that you will see it every day as a reminder to keep you motivated. Maybe write it on a paper that goes on the fridge or your bathroom mirror. Maybe it's that goal outfit that you know you'll be able to wear again in no time.
Step number 2, stay consistent. They always like to say there's no magic pill for weight loss or nutrition. But the truth is, the magic pill for long-term success is consistency. Consistent actions lead to lasting results. Even during the holidays, when you're traveling with all the treats and the gathering, it's important to stay consistent with your routine. So take a moment and think about these questions. Do you have a daily routine? How many days a week do you stay active? Do you have a morning routine? Do you have an evening routine? Here's some pro tips when it comes to staying consistent during the holidays. First, block out a time on your calendar to stay active. Take a look at your holiday schedule. Can you find 2 or 3 days a week to block out to move your body in any way possible? Maybe you're in a place or you're going to be at home and you can get to the gym. That's perfect. That's great. Maybe you're on the road and with family. Block off some time to get out with family and go for a walk. Next, block out some time on your calendar to pick out what meals you're going to eat for that week. Even during the holidays, shop for the ingredients, plan ahead. Not only will you find yourself staying on track, planning out the meals during the holidays, but this will allow you to stay consistent even during Christmas. Last, stay consistent with your sleep. The holiday often brings those late night parties, being around loved ones, talking, watching the Christmas movies. We aren't getting enough sleep, and this can lead to a decreased ability to process and digest your food. Beverages as well. When you consume these things, it needs the time to digest. If you are not getting the sleep, it'll leave you feeling inflamed, even bloated. So one of the best things you can do for your body, be mindful and try to get at least 8 hours of sleep every night.
Tip number 3, plan ahead. A goal without a plan is just a wish. In a busy holiday season, it's easy to let your health and fitness slip to the back burner. But by having a plan, like Casey talked about, you're able to set yourself up for success. So plan out your meals and snacks for the week. If you're traveling, what great lean and shelf-stable proteins can you bring to stay on track? When I travel, I like to make my meals ahead of time for the car ride and then pack some RX bars or protein powder for the days ahead. Be sure to schedule time to go grocery shopping once you've arrived, or even cook a few meals for your family or friends while you're away. That way, you know you will have great options to help you stay on track. Remember when we talked about staying consistent with eating even on days like Thanksgiving and Christmas? What did we mean by that? Well, one of the biggest mistakes we see people make is changing up their routine to save up for that special meal, like skipping breakfast, lunch, and snacks to wait for the big feast. When you skip meals, you are actually increasing your chances to fall off track. As we starve our bodies, we will enter dinner time feeling overly hungry, and this may lead to eating faster and definitely over-consuming. Instead, try planning out balanced breakfast and lunches that focus on lean protein and vegetables. One of my favorite breakfasts is an omelet or eggs with chopped up veggies and deli turkey in there. If you stay consistent with your eating routine, it will be easier to stay mindful and stay on track. Remember, meals like Thanksgiving and Christmas dinner are just another dinner time.
Tip number 4, or step number 4, is remember the plate method. No matter where you are, what you're making for dinner, you can keep the plate method in mind and make it easy to stay on track. The plate method is super simple. Take half of that plate, fill it with non-starchy veggies. A fourth of that plate, fill with your protein, and a fourth of the plate will be your starchy carbs, fruits, and other things like that. Healthy fats, we keep those on the periphery and just use them in little bits. If you remember in tip 2 and 3, you should be going into that special holiday with a plan, being mindful. So when you step up to the table and grab your food, or even if you're ordering at a restaurant, try to create this picture of the plate method when you're eating. Here's some pro tips on how to do that. Eat your non-starchy veggies first. Yes, that half of the plate with the veggies, we're going to go for those first. Then we're going to move around and go for the protein next. Then we'll save those starchy carbs for the end. Slow the eating down. Remember, the brain It's 15 minutes behind that stomach and registering full, right? If you still feel hungry after you've slowed down and done these things, go back for more veggies. Those are always a great option for seconds.
The last tip is to stay mindful. We know that a highly restrictive diet or mindset is not sustainable. It often leads to the yo-yo dieting that we hear about. Well, why does this happen? Well, if you have kids or remember being one, do you remember when someone told you you can't do something or you can't have something? Do you then remember being hyper-focused on that one thing? It's the same thing here. When we tell ourselves we can't have something like pie, cookies, or that blanket statement of having no sugar, we will start to think more about those cravings until finally we succumb, and that often leads to over-consuming. Do you want a treat? Great, have it and then move on. This is the season of sweets and treats and special family recipes. So instead of feeling deprived, like you can't have something and then overeating it later, have a little bit, satisfy your craving and your happiness, and then move on. It's okay to enjoy a treat. For more tips, you can be sure to check out our episode 42 on the Nutrition Made Simple podcast.
So at this point, you've got some notes, hopefully, on your notebook paper, and it should be filled with some tips and help for navigating a healthy holiday. With all the misinformation out there, we know it can be overwhelming. If you start to build that foundation, the HSM principles will help you take control of your health, one habit at a time, just one at a time. So something as easy as adding more whole foods to your diet. Start choosing whole food options, less processed food. We've always heard shop the periphery of the grocery store. The reason is those processed packaged foods are full of sodium, fat, sugar, and it's hidden, hard to find. A simple way to reshape this is to use the plate method. If you're thinking of the plate method while you're shopping, you see those veggies, you see those proteins. There's your visual. Fill that plate, half veggies, fourth protein, a fourth starchy carbs, watch those healthy fats, and to create this all during the holidays.
Principle number 2, focus on balance. When we say balance, we mean aiming for each meal and snack to consume or to contain both a carb, protein, and a fat. Pairing each meal and snack with all 3 of these macronutrients will keep you fuller for longer.
Tip 3, limit your added sugar. Yep, the American Heart Association recommends no more than 6 teaspoons per day for women, 9 teaspoons per day for guys. Did you know that the average person consumes over 150 pounds of sugar in a year? That amounts to 46 teaspoons per day, way over the recommended amount. It's not surprising, sugar's addicting, and it is hidden in almost all of the packaged food on the shelves.
Now we'd like to take some time to answer our frequently asked questions. So, what should I eat around my workout? Well, fueling around your workout to gain muscle, lose fat, and increase energy, or really any health and fitness goal, is important. Aim to have healthy carbs and proteins before and after your workout. Think if you don't put gas in the tank, you wouldn't expect to get anywhere. Don't run your body on empty either. An example of a pre-workout fuel option might be an applesauce and an egg. Post-workout fuel could be non-fat Greek yogurt with a handful of berries mixed in.
Another question we get a lot is, what if I don't like vegetables? Well, I've heard this a lot of times, and it's okay to feel that way, but I'm going to challenge you. Maybe you just don't like the way you're having your vegetables. There's so many options for prepping vegetables. You can roast them, steam them. You can add them with other things and throw it all in a light stir fry. There's lots of options for sneaking in those vegetables. I don't necessarily like my burpees, but I do them anyway. This is sort of one of those things. We're going to treat it just like that. We're going to go for it anyway.
Next question, where should I start? If you start with one thing at a time, maybe it's something you already have in mind, or maybe it's something that we've discussed here today. But the best and fastest way to reach your goals is to work one-on-one with a nutrition coach and to build an individualized plan just for you.
Here's the deal. There's never a perfect time to get started with a nutrition plan. And there's always something that'll come up in the way, like holidays. You have to make a commitment to yourself. And it's not simple. It is simple. Excuse me. It is simple. It's not always easy, but it is simple. And we're here to help make it simple. If you're thinking, this all sounds great, I don't know where to start, I really need someone to help me create a plan that works for me, that's where we come in. We're here to help you create your individual plan to get started on your nutrition health journey.
Thanks so much for listening, guys. Please reach out with questions.